Hey everybody, Cooking with the Fat Guy here, Big Poppa Harold coming at ya. We're doing chicken fettuccine Alfredo tonight, so hang on. Here we go. I'm going to start tonight by chopping up the chicken. I'm going to cube this so that it's a little easier to cook. I really don't like cooking fettuccine Alfredo with just chicken breasts. This isn't like Parmigiano where you have a giant piece of chicken. You want this cubed up small pieces to go with the noodles. Alright, I'm going to start by cutting up these chicken tenders. I figured that would be a little easier tonight to deal with. This is probably the equivalent of at least 2 large chicken breasts, so we'll be good. I'm not going to do anything special with these. I'm actually just going to go across and cut these into small slices. Hope you guys are having a good evening. I love cooking for you guys. I love cooking in general. It's fun to be in the kitchen. It's not always fun to clean up the mess, but it is fun creating and doing this stuff. And I hope if you like what you're seeing, you'll like and subscribe. Plan on doing a lot of these. And I've been talking to different people about what we should cook. And if you got ideas, folks, toss them out there. I'm always looking for new ideas. So there is our chicken. I'll take a quick second and show you this. Bought this little bad boy, and it's been taking care of business. I got no complaints so far. It's nice, it's easy to use. If you're not familiar with how to sharpen a knife, this really simplifies the process for you. So I would suggest, especially if your knives are dull in the kitchen, you don't want a butcher knife or a steak knife or anything like that that is dull. It's not going to work for you. Now I will remind you and preface that that blade has to be a straight edge. You cannot use a serrated blade on this or you will mess up the blade and you'll mess this up. So just a little parting reminder. Okay, so we're going to start by getting our butter melted, and I'm actually going to take just a small little bit of this for now because I need to add it and I need to saute the garlic. So I've got that. I'm going to drop this garlic on there. Now I used a press for this, and that's the first time I've ever used it, but there's a million different ways to cook a recipe, and I don't know if you've checked, and I'm sure you guys have, but when you get online and you start looking, and I'm going to add the rest of this butter. This calls for 1 stick of butter on this. It says 1 cup or half a cup of butter, but 1 stick is what you're looking for there. You're going to find a ton of different recipes and a ton of different ways to make stuff, and there's all kinds of DIYs out there to make your food. Okay, now, are they all right or wrong? No, they're not. You are going to want to check the way that you like it. Figure it out. Find a way to make what you like, because in the end, that's what matters. I've found tons and tons of different recipes that I think are good, but that doesn't necessarily make them good. I'll take and I'll play with them, and I may not tweak them, I may tweak them. And if I do, I don't put it on all recipe like some of these people do. I see people all the time taking a recipe and going, oh hey, I changed your recipe completely. What's the point of that? Build your own page, do your own recipe. Don't tell this person how much you liked his recipe but you changed half the ingredients in it. That's pointless. So this is melting quite nicely. And the next step is to add 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. So I'm going to get that going here once this finishes up. Now I've already laid out most of my ingredients, and I think that this is important, guys. I think that that's a big deal, and I didn't lay them out. Let me just preface that. I had an awesome wife. She takes care of me and helps me out with this. So I get off work and I drag my big fat behind home, and I get to play in the kitchen because she helps me out, right? So just a little note to all you YouTubers, hey man, use your contacts, use your friends. If they want to help, let them. Network, right? This is how you help everybody get big in this stuff. Okay, so that's melted. I take my cream cheese and toss that in there. So I'm switching over to the whisk, people. And I'm going to actually just whisk the top of this. try to get that as broken down as possible without wrecking the pan. It's kind of a necessity. That is looking good. A lot of bubbles in there, but I can still see that it is melting all that cream cheese. Okay, that is all melted, guys. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take, and I'm using a heavy whipping cream, and we're going to see how this turns out. Again, this is new to me, so a lot of these recipes, guys, I'm making for the first time for you. So you're getting to see just what it would be like if it was you doing it. It's going to be about the same. I mean, I'm not doing anything any more or less special than you would. I'm going to turn this down some so it doesn't burn. We're good. And you got to constantly whisk this. I'm going to bring that heat down some. So I'm going to start my chicken up. See what I can do to get that going here. I've got oil in this pan already. I'm going to spread that around a little bit and kick that heat down. Back burner. And I got to consistently and constantly whisk this Alfredo sauce. I'm not trying to get this to burn the bottom of the pan. And I would show you there's a little bit of separation happening up top, and I'm not sure I like that. So I'm going to try to whisk that out of there. I'm actually, it says to add parsley now. Well, I'm not a real big fan of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that parsley at the end. I'll chop some up and I'll garnish the food with it, but I don't really want to throw it all in the pan with what I've got going on there. And the other thing I need to do while I'm getting this on is I need to add my fettuccine. So I have got some nice fettuccine, courtesy of my favorite store, Save-A-Lot in Pena. Big shout out to them. Always helping me make it through the evening. So I've got no complaints about that. So we're going to add this fettuccine. And I am standing mine up. I don't like to break my fettuccine. I don't need to. I need to stir this, but I'm going to keep adding this to the recipe. Now, I am big on multitasking. If you haven't noticed, I got a bit of ADHD, which makes me a whole lot of fun to live with and a whole lot more fun to cook with, because I like to try to do 16 things at once and see which one I can mess up first. The timer's set on here, but I'm actually going to drop it down about 9 minutes because we've been at this for a while. You're actually supposed to cook this on low, medium to low, for about 20 minutes. And I wanted to get my other stuff going at the same time. I'm going to turn down the heat on that chicken so it doesn't burn too fast. Now, when cubing it, guys, this should help it cook a little bit cleaner, a little bit faster, without having to worry about poisoning yourself by not thoroughly cooking the chicken. Okay, that's kind of a big deal. All right, you always want to make sure that your meats are thoroughly cooked. You don't want to run into that. And this, if you'll notice, this is thickening up some. And I think that's pretty good. I'm going to turn this way down. I'll turn that down to low. Now I want this just to simmer, but I have to continually stir this or it'll burn. Alright, so I've got to be at this, I've got to be active on this the entire time. Okay, so we got our chicken good. It's nice and brown. It's looking pretty solid. I've had it in the back at like a low to medium low. This I've been stirring constantly for the better part of 20 minutes. Just getting this thing to where it needs to be. So, what I'm going to do now, I've already emptied this out. I've got my noodles. I'm actually going to take those, I'm going to put those in with the chicken. That's where I want it to be. Oh no, lost a noodle. I'm going to take this first. I'm going to swap some stuff out here, guys. So I'm going to take all of this and I'm going to pour this right on top of my noodles. I want all of that in there. And I'm going to shift these pans around. So I'm going to stir this in. Try to get this mixed in as good as possible. What I'm also going to do now is I chopped up just a little bit of parsley earlier, and I'm going to throw that in here as well. And let me tell you that somebody once told me a little bit of parsley goes a long way. So we're going to see just how this looks. And get that stirred in. And again, I'm running this just on a low heat. Nothing special or fancy. Just trying to get this mixed in. And what I'm going to do here in a second is turn this off and let it sit and let it thicken just a little bit, and then it's probably ready to serve. Again, I hope you liked what you saw. Let me know your thoughts. Give me your comments. Let me know what you think. I'll make sure to toss some pictures out there for you. Other than that, you guys have a good night. Good luck with dinner. Hey everybody, thanks for watching today. Be sure to smack that subscribe button so that you can catch up on future videos.